involved with it. And this product has, well, I can say it, the USANA product has really done some amazing things for me. It's helped me lose weight and keep it off. I've been on the yo-yo diet plan for about 10 years. This has helped me come down and lose weight and stay down. I feel healthier, I have more energy. My joints feel better than they did when I was in my early 40s. So I benefited so much from the product and from that. But I'm really excited about the opportunity and the future our future with USANA, because it'll do a couple of things. One is helping us be healthier. It's helping our elderly parents be healthier. And we're looking forward to a future where I can quit my job, move someplace closer so that I can hop on a plane or drive to see my kids or drive to see my grandkids. And I can be grandpa playing in the backyard, or I can be grandpa coaching the soccer team, or I can be grandpa doing the things I love to do with my kids and my grandkids, all of the stuff that I loved to do when my kids were young. So that's my story. Might take more than, that's my story. So I'm going to share with you just a few things, and these are some things that I've learned from my mentor, Jared Krebs, and we'll just get started really quickly. So as we all have a business in this group, there are 10 things that we can expect when we build our business. The 10 things that we can expect are there will be ups and downs in our businesses. The success or the failure of your business is up to you. It's not up to your upline. It's not up to the people that you brought into the business. It's not up to the company. It's up to you. We are supported by an amazing company. We have some really great people in our upline. We have some really great resources within the company and within the associate community. So success or failure is entirely up to you. The goal of our training and the goal of us is to help you, each and every one of you, to become independent so you can own and operate and build your business independently. We are here to help you along the way, but the role is to help you become independent so you can teach independence to those that you're working with. It's important that you plan your work. You do the work, you review the work, and you adjust the work. You can't plan and never do. You can't do without planning. You can't do without reviewing. And there's also adjustments. Things don't always work out the way you plan. It's going to take some time to build your business. It will take a year to become competent. It'll take 3 years to create a significant part-time income. It will take 5 years to become a significant earner. And in 7 years, you can become world-class. You can become world-class at this business, and you can pretty much write your own paycheck. Number 6, it takes consistent work and hustle. And that's really important, to be consistently working your business. If you're going to pick an hour a day to work your business, work an hour a day. Number 7, you're going to have to grow and get outside your comfort zone. Mental toughness is necessary. Number 8, mental toughness is necessary. Number 9, the grass is not greener in any other companies. There are dozens, hundreds of similar companies out there, but the grass is not greener because they're newer, they're older, they're this or that, they got a better products or whatever. USANA is a long-term gain. USANA is 28 years strong, and they've paid out over $2.5 billion to associates in commissions over that 28-year period. So that's a little bit about some things that you can expect for while you build your business. One of the neat bonus tips I heard from Jared is that amateurs sell products, and when you're selling products, you have a job. Professionals sell the vision. What's your vision, and how are you selling your vision? Let's get our vision clear, and let's help other people get their vision clear so they can grow in their business. Here are some of the attributes of an influencer within our business. The number one attribute is to become independent. Number 2 is to be a problem solver. Things are going to come up. You will have problems. Become a problem solver. Number 3 is prospect consistently. Where are you? Where are people? Whenever you're around people, you're around prospects. You're around people who have a reason why they might want to do something different. They may not know it, and it's our idea. It is our job and our responsibility and our opportunity to connect them with their vision for a brighter future. Number 4, develop a really big vision. What is your big vision? Because anything we do, when we impact somebody outside of ourselves, we can impact the world. And we have to develop the ability to communicate that vision. And the last thing is create action and results. What are we looking for? People who are our prospects and who are growing with us in our business. We're looking for people to become willing, to be coachable, and to be hungry. Be willing to do the work, be willing to do the prospecting, be willing to do things, be willing to grab some advice and take some advice or direction and learn where you can go and grow. And most of all, and I'm going to tell you what, the hungry part is the hard part for me. When you have a really good job that's paid you very well for a number of years, it's easy to not be hungry. So be hungry for other reasons. Just a couple quick things. Future Leaders is coming up. We'll have the opportunity to earn that Future Leaders trip. We have to do 300 points, 300 CVP for 13 weeks to earn that Future Leaders. The Elevate trip. The qualification period started in January. It goes through June 30th. I hope everybody here is opted to Elevate trip. Where are you at? Do you know where you're at on Elevate? What level Elevate are you going to join Gwen and I at Maya Riviera in November? We are planning to go. We are looking forward to qualifying. I challenged Gwen that our goal is to qualify at the highest level and go at the level 6. So we do have our work cut out for us. So the next thing I want to talk about, and this is what you asked me to be here for, was this core rank advancement. It was an idea that came out of a presentation by Eric Morey last week. Was let's start from the beginning. I should have done this at the beginning. So this is my idea. It just popped into my head while I was in the core rank training in the GoPro Accelerator class. I did a special training on core rank, and really what it is how do we help our new associates get going right out of the gate. Now, I don't know where everybody's at. I know that joining Gwen's business, we are at the director level. And my goal for every person that I have on my team or our team is to bring them from wherever they're at. If they're new to the business, if they're a sharer, or they're just somebody who's joined and done nothing. I have a few people like that in the business. My goal is to get them to believer, because when we help them earn a check, we help them earn some belief. They become a little bit of a believer. I know that the first level of earning a check is share. So what is a believer? The believer is someone who earns their first check with USANA. And actually what I'm sharing with you here is just some questions I wrote out to myself on a Excel spreadsheet. So I'm kind of talking you through some of the questions that I don't necessarily have all the answers for. But so how can I do this? So a believer becomes where you have, if you only have one business center open, 500 SVP on each side will earn you a $100 check. So basically what this means is one entrepreneur, one pro pack on each side plus $100 order for a preferred customer. How can we do that? And it's really about, it's really about trying to figure out how do we help our associates go from where they're at to earn $100 a week. How are we going to do that? We're going to have to help people get connected. One, we have to connect them with their vision. We have to connect them with their reason why. And then we have to, and maybe that's the first invitation we have to do. The first invitation is, hey, you got to make that phone call. I call it my son, Jacob, who actually is a sharer, I think. Maybe he's a believer. I think he did get a $100 check. I call him up and say, hey, Jacob, I need to connect you with your vision. What the heck's your vision for? How could you use $100 a week? Do you know anybody that could use $100 a week? who couldn't use $100 extra a week, and what are you willing to put in for it? So maybe that first connection we have to make is to that person in our organization to help them see what their reason is to become a believer. And maybe the first invitation we have to make for them is that invitation to say, hey, take a look at what you're doing and why you want to do this. Why do you want to do this? Do you have that reason? I shared with you a little bit about my reason. My big why reason is I want to be able to spend time. I just want to be able to hop on a plane whenever I want. I don't have to ask for leave. I just want to be able to say when we're going to go visit the grandkids. Jeff's asked us to come up to upstate New York and go fishing and hang out at a really nice cabin with them. We're going to go do that for a week. And we don't have to ask for time off at the barber shop or time off at Shoegaze Electric or whatever we're doing. It's like we own and control our own time. If my son says, hey, my dad, Sam's got this really big program coming up at school. We'd really like you to be there. I want to be there. I want to be able to hop on a plane and go see Sam and watch him be the star, the star in my eyes at the play. So that's the vision that I have for me. And that's my vision that I have for anybody else is what is it that's holding you back and what is it that's attracting you? So we have to really figure this out. What are the connections and invitations that you have to make to become a believer? Part of the way to get there is who could use our products. Who do we know that has a need? And it's not as simple as walking up to a heavyset person at the mall and saying, hey, I have a really great weight loss project or weight loss program for you. It's about going out and asking and finding out and connecting with those people, and then see what they need, ask them what they need, and help connect them to that. Again, this is sort of a work in progress. I don't have everything worked out. I'm sort of doing the Eric Worre thing where he said, announce it to the world and figure it out. And I'm sort of doing the figuring it out right now. Who could use an extra $100 a week? Are you in? And how can I help you? The first thing I want to do is really do a better onboarding with those who are already in our organization, whether it's Scott Wilson, whether it's Allison Woodings, who came into our group under me, whether it's some of the new people we brought in under Ping and Anna, and so we do have, and we have seen some significant growth. How can we help and where can we go? And I've just used a number of an average associate probably starts out with somewhere between 200 and 300 points. So it really is going to take 2 average associates on each side of our number 1 business center to bring everybody up from a 0 to a believer. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for others that are looking for an opportunity to, whether it's an opportunity for better health or an opportunity to earn more money. But the money, as we believe, as we earn it, also helps us buy and afford our products better. Again, I'm just sort of reading through these questions. Where do we start? Where do we start? We start with starting to invite our friends, our family, to take a look. And I don't mean to, I've talked to my family, I've talked to my brothers, I've talked to my sisters, I've talked to everybody else. So here's the core rank, and I'm just calling the core rank, share is $50, one check at $50. Now it's pretty cool. You can start off with a big enough order to earn your first check if you want to become a sharer. But I really want to help people become believers. So if we can help, just think what the impact it could have on each one of our businesses if we help 5 people in our business become a believer. And I'm just going to say that from my perspective, the way I want to take a look at it, and stealing a line from Grant Cardone, is I want to go to 0. I'm just going to pretend on March 1st that I am a new entry. I'm at an entry level. I have 0 CDP. Now I know that's not what's going to show up on on our chart that day. But I want to mentally go to zero. I'm a zero. I'm a new person. What steps do I have to do to get to um, a believer? I got a somewhere. I didn't bring this one up yet. I gotta find it. Um, road to Achiever. So here's some steps, and it's in this Road to Achiever. Open. So this Road to Achiever is really kind of the steps that we need to be taking to get to believer too. Um,
Okay.
Here's where we're really going to get started. We're going to get started. The first thing is we're going to learn our skills to invite. So the first week of March, I want you to start thinking about our invitation skills. One of the things that I have done in the team, the Anatomy of Success International team, is I have put in a couple of scripts for inviting. One of them is a script called the DAS. And these are documents that I got from Jared Krebs and his team DSI. It's the invitation scripts to DAS stands for Distributor Acquisition System. And so, and what it is, it's a series of text messages. And was anybody, I'm not going to ask that. So if you've been participated at all in some of the GoPro USANA Associate GoPro community events, one of the big things that they have been talking about is just this, and they're sharing a lot of this stuff here, is how to contact and connect with new people. So if you don't have any new people on your list, or you think, oh man, I don't know anybody, there are some really great trainings that are recorded in there for how to friend people on Facebook or how to friend people on Instagram to get to know people. You know, it's send out 10 friend invitations with a really quick, hey, my name is, I see, you know, go to something that you have in common with them. If you're in a hiking group and you want to make friends with new people, connect with John Jones and say, hey, John Jones, I see we're both in the Alaska backcountry hiking group. And I see that we know some of the same people. I'm interested, you know, let's connect and see what maybe we have some opportunity to get to know each other. Start a few conversations with them, get to know them, find out, you know, what it is and how you may be able to help them. Finish off a couple of days worth of conversation, go dark, you know, just say, okay, well, it's been really great. Have a great week, or have a great weekend, or have a few great days. And then after a few days, you contact and connect with them. I do not have the skill yet. And it's one of those plan, do, review sort of things that I'm working on right now. I spent last week, I sent out 102 friend requests last week. I think I added like 23 new friends. I warmed up some of my old friends. And that's where I've been concentrating my efforts the last 2 weeks, because there's a lot of people on my list that are classmates that I haven't talked to or seen in 35 years plus, some of them 40, 45 years. So it's really hard to go and say, hey, I really got a great opportunity for you if I haven't talked to you in 35 or 40 years. So I need to get to know them. I got to comment on their things. No magic here. I think it's just start out like you're at zero. And I want, you know, my goal is to find out who's in and who can we work with and how can we get started. Let's start inviting. Invite 10 people per day to take a look at your business. Now we have a couple of opportunities that they can look at the business every day. Every day there is a work from home Zoom session that you can invite a new prospect to take a look at. It is an introductory event that gives them a glance and a look at the business. Um, the most important thing you can do after getting someone to that work from home event is to do the follow-up call. Um, Within the distributor acquisition system scripts in the team AOSI files, there is a follow-up script. And I don't have a ton of time tonight to go through all of that, but I invite all of you to join that team, to get into that Facebook page, go into the files, print out that script, practice some of those scripts, because there are scripts for follow-up text messages. I mean, it is everything. It's here's the script to invite. Hey, first name. I have a really great I have something that I'd really like to take. Again, I don't have it memorized. That's why it's in my, I guess I do have it sort of memorized, and it's a keyboard shortcut. So, I guess who's in? Who's in? Who wants to be a believer? Who could use $100 a week? And how can we help you get there? That's really the goal. Is who's in? How can we help you get there? One of the most important things you can do is decide how much time are you going to commit this week, next week, and every week after to achieve that goal. Are you going to commit 1 hour a day, half hour a day, 2 hours a day? What's your time worth? And what's $100? What's $100 extra a week? No, $100 extra a week is $400 a month. $400 a month is a pretty good chunk of a car payment for most people. So, if you could help someone, you think that you have an opportunity, are you taking advantage of somebody when you're offering them an opportunity to earn $400 a week to maybe make their car payment every month from now till their car is paid off? These are the kinds of things we really have to look at. We're not taking advantage of anybody. We're offering people an opportunity to get well physically, to get well financially, and to get well, get well personally. And just, I love how Dr. Wentz says it, to love life and live it to the fullest in health and prosperity. That's our goal. I honestly don't have this program mapped out perfectly. It's spent a lot of time, rolling around with the marbles between my ears. And so that's what we're working on. But my plan is beginning Monday with the whole list of people that I've been warming up the last 2 weeks is now it's time to start invite and follow up. And there are some different things that we can do. I guess what I will encourage is anyone that you invite, the best thing you can do with your invitation when they start asking questions is I don't know. I really want you to take a look at this with me so I can get a better picture of it, or something very similar. Because when you start inviting and tell them how great this is, if they know you and they know your background and they know who you are and what you were, it's like, well, yeah, but Dave, you're an engineer. What do you know about health? What do you know about nutrition? What do you know about this? In their eyes, you are what they know of you. So this is your opportunity now to use somebody within our group to become your third party expert. And that's where the work from home sessions become. They're our third party. Hey, I'm taking a look at something. I'd like to get an extra set of eyes on it. So because it looks really great to me, and I don't know if it's for you, but maybe you can help me see some value in it that I don't see, or some similar, get comfortable with some sort of conversation that says, hey, I'm taking a look at this and I'd really love to have you look with me, because that's really what you want. If these are people you care about, you're not taking advantage of them. You just say, yeah, I'd really love to have you take a look at this with me because I'm kind of excited about the opportunity. or I'm kind of excited about these products. I don't really know that much about them, but I've heard some really great things. Let's take a look together. Simple invitation. I think we get, I was sharing my story with my son just before this meeting started, and he said, Dad, you're thinking about it too much. You know, I like the 10-second version afterwards so much better. You know, because I felt your emotion in the 10 seconds. He said, I didn't feel it as much in your story, but you got a really great story. It's a personal story, and we all have them. So, you know, and we have them with people we care about. We have them even with people that maybe we don't know that we care about. I think there's a lot of people out there that we don't know that we care about more than we know them. So, so my goal is to start at zero Monday. I'm starting at zero. I want to make by the end of March an extra $100 a week for our team. It doesn't seem like much, but I want to do things that help me go from 0 to 100 by the end of March. 0 to 100 per week, not just 0 to 100. 0 to 100 per week. Can I do it the first week? Maybe. Can I do it the second week? Yes. Can I do it the third week? Yes. Can I do it the fourth week? And how do we get there so we're doing $100 a week? And if you start and you work on yourself, all of a sudden you'll have somebody else to work with. And what you're going to do with that person is you're going to bring them in and say, okay, Pete, you're new to my team. How can I help you make $100 next week? And the goal is to help you make $100 next week. Who do you know that could use an extra $100 a week? And that's my goal. My goal is to help everybody on my team make an extra $100 a week. That's my idea. It's again, that's where we're working towards. That's what we're working on. It's not perfect. It's a little messy. It will be better by the end of next week than it was at the end of this week. It'll be better at the end of week 2 than it is at the end of next week. By the end of March, maybe we'll have some magic happening and everybody's moving towards believer and builder and achiever and director and silver and gold and all of that. I know I have bigger goals than my actions that sometimes have shown. So Mila, that's my presentation for now.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. I'm in.
All right, now it's over to you, David Peter. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the products that we're so excited for. Okay, now it's over you.
All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Alan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So what I want to do is to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a military man. I'm a disabled veteran, and as with that, my military service, I incurred a lot of trauma to my body and incurred a lot of pain and suffering, including I was subjected to a concussive, well, let me put it this way, a massive concussive explosion that racked through my body. And as the doctors indicated to me at Walter Reed, was that it was like being electrocuted without dying. So my entire internals were completely disrupted. I developed all kinds of pains, and in addition to that, spinal injuries and ruptured discs, torn discs, piriformis disease, fibromyalgia, myofascial pain syndrome with trigger points, all kinds of things that would disrupt me, including with the ramifications that come from that would be the depression, the sleep problems that pain induces, the causes for not just depression, but depressive behaviors, which then affect a whole lot of other folks. And then heretically, I had manic depressive behaviors, which is bipolar, if you've ever heard of that before, where your emotions travel up and down and up and down and up and down. And then it disrupts a lot of people around you. You might have anger management issues. I did. And all of that. And as I retired from the military, I had to go to the doctor every week. I had to go to the doctor every week to get my blood tested and get my medications readjusted and so forth. I had massive amounts of medications that I had to take. And I also needed to get physical therapy and deep tissue massage just to stay vertical. And this was my routine for 12 years after retirement from the military. I'd suffered a heart attack, and my chiropractor said, "Dave, forks before knives, Dave, forks before knives." And I go, he says, "Eat better or I'm going to have to cut on you." And I go, "Oh no, we don't want to cut on me." And so I ended up going through a process of learning about nutrition and how to eat better. And I tried to figure it out myself. And I was doing the things that a lot of people do and trying to figure it out for themselves is that you're trying to, buy the supplements that are on the shelves or buy the ones that are being advertised. Or you're going to Amazon or you're going to GNC, you're going to multi-level marketing companies, right? And I just picking up and doing it. And then every week with all the pills. So if you've done that, you know what I'm talking about. I got boxes and boxes that I used to take. So I was introduced to a book, which was this book. This is the nutritional guide to supplements. This is the comparative guide, right? And in this, it goes through the science of supplementation. Of course, the bibliography, this is just the front end. The bibliography is most of the book. It's the bibliography starts here and goes on and on and on for all the studies that were there. And then the each supplement, 1,600 different supplements were rated. And I says, I'm doing all of this stuff and I'm only hoping that I'm getting better. I'm not feeling any better. I'm not acting any better or any different. I'm just hoping. And I says, why don't I just take number one? So I went to the book and I looked at the number one product in the entire evaluation, the Platinum Plus, and it just happened to be from USANA Health Sciences right here. And I says, okay, I'm in, I got it. I purchased this product. This is the Health Tech. This is the basic product for all these USANA activities. This is the Daddy Rabbit, okay? And a couple of things I found out from start taking this is that within 3 weeks of taking this product, I didn't need my Prilosec anymore. I didn't need to be treated for acid reflux. I didn't have acid reflux anymore. And the other thing is that my manic depressive behavior mitigated. Instead of doing this, I was doing this. And hopefully Alan will be coming back. There you go, Alan. So I used to do this, right? Now I'm doing this, in the manic depressive area. And one of the other things that I found is I started sleeping better. And why was that? Is because my depressive behaviors were mitigated. I started not being as depressed as I was because, oh my gosh, I'm not going through manic depressive, but my pain is starting to be released. I'm starting to feel better. And then I started getting more active as I started feeling better. I had more energy because I was feeling better. I started being more active and I started losing weight. And in the first 8 months of being on the program, I lost 60 pounds. 60 pounds, 4 bowling balls. Okay, for all of you bowlers out there, especially your men, you're always picking up the 15-pound ball, and you know how heavy that 15-pound ball feels the first time you pick it up, right? Now think about carrying 4 of those around with you. And I lost 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and they were gone. And you know what? I've kept them off for 5 years. It is amazing. So going back through that process, I was also on sleep medications, and I stopped needing the sleep medications. So if anybody's ever been on Ambien before, and you know about Ambien episodes, I had my Ambien episode. I woke up in the middle of my bathtub with a bunch of cheese wrappers and my book floating in the tub, and I'm still there and in the middle, but I didn't go to bed that way. But I woke up that way, and I says, no, I'm not doing this anymore. We're not taking that sucker anymore. And but I stopped needing it. I just stopped having trouble sleeping because the pains that were keeping me awake were starting to dissipate, and my stress levels were going down. And so I wanted to point that out. And in November of 2016, I became an associate of the company, and I've loved it ever since. What I want to do is relate that story back to the products that we have. And the first one I wanted to touch base on was that health pack. And many people don't realize that a balanced nutritional approach helps with the brain and mitigates behavior, right? And it causes you to have a balanced behavior, and that goes a long way. Then in addition, you have start having less pain and more activity, because the health pack has in it the intelligence complex that USANA has patented, that allows for the renewal of your mitochondria. Your mitochondria is your energy factory of your body, and it's inside of your cells. Being inside of your cells, when it regenerates the mitochondria, it also generates a lot of antioxidants, and the antioxidants are best served your body inside your cells, so you're going to have less opportunity for oxidation, which is the cancer to your body. Okay, different types of cancers depending upon different kinds of cells and so forth, but not getting into the detail of the science right at the moment. The basis then goes back and says, okay, well, the health pack, you start there and then you optimize onto various different things to approach the types of issues that you may have. So the USANA has a whole series of optimizers that build upon the health pack. And those optimizers are broken down into various different categories. And we're here to talk about stress and relaxation and sleep. And those optimizers fall into a lot of different categories. And Thekla and Mila, I want you to unmute so you can join into the conversation. Is that I wanted to start out with the first product of in the sleep line and relaxation. It's called Pure Rest. And this product is designed to help you to get to REM sleep. Okay. REM is where you're in the deep sleep, and you're supposed to get there about 3 times every night, and most people don't. And it is in the REM sleep that healing takes place. This is where your body renews, is in REM sleep. So 1 tablet melted in your mouth before bedtime, and usually by the time it's melted, I'm asleep, and I sleep really well all night. It's called Pure Rest. Then Thekla, I want you to talk about stress relief. Stress relief, right? You got yours right there. And this is better than a bottle of wine, right, Thekla? Nope, you have to unmute. You're almost there.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Yes.
So stress relief.
Stress relief. Yes, it is better than a bottle of wine. And I'll just go through some of the ingredients that are in here. We have saffron, ashwagandha, and lemon balm. I love the lip balm, but that's another story. but lemon balm. And just to let you know what they do, the lemon balm helps to relieve stress. It reduces anxiety. It boosts cognitive function. It helps ease insomnia and other sleep disorders. And it may also help with cold sores. Who knew? And it may also help with nausea. So it's got a few good things going for it there. Ashwagandha is my favorite though. It's a medical herb and it has several health benefits, such as it improves blood sugar, inflammation, mood, memory, stress and anxiety, as well as it boosts in muscle strength and fertility. Dosage depends. We have 400 megagrams per tablet. So gives you a lot of benefits.
All right.
And then I thought I had some, my paper pulled up for Saffron, which is a pretty good product too. I'm not sure where my Saffron went, but Saffron helps with
It's
mood.
more than just a flavor enhancer for French cooking.
Definitely more than a flavor enhancer. It gives you positive mood. And it's also an anti-inflammatory. And if I can get into this page again.
There you go.
No, it just decided to take me to
Fun stuff.
Amazon. I'm not going to find it on Amazon.
Yeah. So you can get these products ordered on Amazon, but the company will not honor any guarantees or, for any of the product that's purchased outside of the distributors, because it does not recognize Amazon as a distributorship. And
The best part of your stress relief is the fact there is no alcohol in it. You can actually take it and drive your car. It does not put you to sleep. It just takes that anxiety and diffuses it out. And then gives you all the health benefits to go with it. So you're feeling so much healthier.
So there's no deterioration of your muscle, mind coordination, or eyesight, or anything along that line.
Nope. And as long as I've been using it, I have been able to keep my daily functions going normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when that car cuts me off, I say, okay, carry on. I'm fine. That's why I said better than a bottle of wine.
Better than a bottle of wine. I love that. So good. Mila, we have calm response. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So calm response is a balm utilizing essential oils. And basically you apply this before bedtime to relax you into sleep, to give you a release, and to use the natural aromas to bring you out. And oh gosh, I know it smells great. So the label is kind of small, but the ingredients on it are what you would normally have for sleep inducement and relaxation. Stekla, you've got yours there. What can you say about that?
I use it all the time, and I don't use it just for bedtime. When I was supposed to give my talks, I was like this.
Yeah.
My voice was shaking too, and I'd put it on, and I put it on.
Why don't you show us how did you put it on?
And yes, the lavender essential oils calms you down
Mhm.
and
So
brings your
you,
focus back.
so if you don't know, it's a little bit of an insight for the people who weren't participants of GoPro, which is Go Professional. It was an intense training program. And one of the things we went through here in the last, this week was 2 full days, 10 hours apiece. And Thecla won her first round of presentation against some pretty high competition. So I want to thank Thecla and congratulate her.
Thank you.
Yep. Super
Appreciate
job.
that.
Represented the global health team exceedingly well, and she can testify to her stress relief and calm response to get there.
Yes, I used it very much.
Mhm. All right. Now the product that I'm going to talk about is this one here. It's called Mineral Calm. And this one is for relieving anxieties and relieving muscle tension, as well as the muscle tension of your normal body, but also your muscle tension in your gut or your stomach, your intestines, which is a huge muscle, right? And if it's tense, you're not going to be comfortable. So it has the ingredients. So it's magnesium, potassium, and sodium bicarbonate. And I did a video of this and put it on YouTube. You can find it on Health Eagle. Go to YouTube, search Health Eagle. You'll see my pretty face. And I'm in an orange and gray suit and that particular thing. Anyway, that's you get to Mineral Calm. It's a powder. You can open it up. It's not a pill. It's a powder. And 1 teaspoon, a tiny little bit, is all that you need every night. And you put it a teaspoon in your cup, and then you pour the hot water in, and it will effervesce. If you're old enough, you'll remember the Alka-Seltzer commercials, plop plop fizz fizz. Well, this is a fizz fizz, right? It'll fizz up. So you put about 3 ounces of hot water in, let it fizz up. Then you put in another 5 to 6 ounces of hot water, and then you can cool it with water, with cold water, to get it to your drinking temperature. Then you drink it 30 minutes or so before bedtime, and it will relax you. And one of the things is that Michelle will testify is that I sleep all night. How about it, Michelle? Do I sleep all night?
Yeah, a very good one.
Really good. So I sleep all night and I wake up and I feel refreshed. But one of the greatest things is that you can have a super bowel movement at the in the morning, and then you're clear to go for all day, right? So Mineral Calm, and this is brand new from USANA, by the way. This is not offered, preview to February. Turn it right way. There we go. Mineral Calm. So I really like that. These are all in the USANA, product listings and the like. We talk about sleep, and sleep is so important to your health. You can take just about anything you want. You can do anything you want, but if you're not sleeping, you're not healing. If you're not sleeping, you're not growing, because it's in the night that your body grows and your cell renewal takes place. This is where the healing of your body takes place. So you need to get yourself to sleep so your body can do what it's supposed to do while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to do is I put out on Health Eagle a paper. There's just been a great new study released, and this particular study indicates the relationship between fear and anxiety and sleep and how you react to it within the sleep. And in the daytime, your body can create a reality around your fear and anxiety. You can think your way through it, but when you're sleeping, you can't. And so that's where fears and anxieties come to play. So if we don't get the anxiety out before you go to bed, you're going to carry them into your sleep and you're going to have a bad sleep pattern. So this is a brand new study that related fear and anxiety before sleep and fear and anxiety during sleep. And check that out on the Health Eagle WeChat or Health Eagle on Facebook. So in sleep, getting there, you need to establish a pattern, right? You're going to try to go to bed the same time every day, Monday through Sunday, right? And the problem with that is many of us have to work schedules that don't allow for that to happen, okay? Or as you change age, your need for sleep changes and so forth. So you have to balance it. But the neat thing about it is that you really should try to get to bed at the same time every day and wake up at the same time every day. Establish that circadian rhythm, the pattern of your sleep that will help you get a better sleep. You need to take care of your pains because you're not going to get rid of your pain when you're sleeping. Your body is still going to be in pain. So how do you get rid of your pain? There's a number of techniques associated with that, and taking drugs is not the best alternative. You're talking to a guy who was on opiates for 10 years, and it wrecked me up really bad. I ended up coming off of it, and it took me 8 months to feel clean from the time that I cold turkeyed to the time that I felt clean was about 8 months. So be really careful about how and who is prescribing pain medications to you. You need to be careful with aspirins because they destroy stomach lining, various different other things in there. One of the things that I suffered from, because I was a military commander and I was a CEO and so forth, I suffered a long time with acid reflux. And then in 1995, I learned of this miracle drug called Prilosec, and I started taking it. And in 2016, I was still taking it. So 21 years of taking this drug, destroying my ability of my intestines to dissolve the foods that I eat, right?
Absorb nutrients.
Yeah, and then not being able to absorb nutrients. You're absolutely right, Thecla. And, I couldn't, everything's wrapped around your gut. What you eat, you are what you eat. There's a relationship between your gut and your brain. There's a relationship between your gut and your heart. There's a relationship between your gut and your entire health life. Okay. So you need to take care of your gut. And in that same light, you need to make sure you're having good bowel movements. And so there's great probiotic powder pack from USANA that will get you regular and keep you regular. It will also help you lose weight. And you will feel a whole lot better, and you'll have great bacteria, and not the bad bacteria, but the good bacteria, right? You have to worry about your human biome. And we can talk about that in another Health Eagle presentation, because the human biome is where one of the greatest amount of research is going on right now in the world of nutrition and the world of personal health. But there's a great packages for your gut health in your probiotics. So that's the number one in your pain. And then number two is making sure you're getting the right nutrition for yourself. And I can't speak enough about Percosa. Percosa is the number one in the way of relieving soft tissue pain, your fibromyalgia, your myofascial pain, your trigger points, your joint pains, your arthritis, anywhere you're going to have inflammation in your bodies. It's the Percosa that goes and relieves that inflammation and begins repairing the cause of your pain. And it utilizes the patented USANA intelligence technology to renew cells from the inside. So looking at that, just wanted to touch base on that specific thing. When it comes to sleep, the best things is to not take anxiety to bed with you. Do not take your fears and so forth. Leave them for the next day. There's a saying about give it up to God. It's so true. Let him deal with it, but take care of your body too, and get the right nutrition in, and take advantage of the technologies that are available to do that. Thecla, did you have anything else you wanted to add in that regard?
No, I've definitely enjoyed taking my Percosa.
Yeah. Right. Gwen, did you have anything you want to add to our conversation? Yeah. All right. Now we have some guests. I've got Ricky. Do you have any questions, or you have anything you want to add?
Hello. No, so far everything's pretty good.
All right,
All the
super.
explanations.
Well, Ricky, it's nice to have you join us. I'm really happy to make your acquaintance. Can you show your face for us?
Oh, I don't have
Get
video.
to know you. There we go. How's it going?
Hey, everybody. Good.
Ricky,
How are you?
Where
Welcome.
are you from?
Originally, I'm from El Salvador, raised in Guatemala, but here living in LA.
You're living in LA. Super.
Yes, sir.
Really glad to see you here and join us. And you're making a great transition to the next topic, and that is, how do you talk to strangers? And this is the first time we've met, isn't it, Ricky?
No, we met before.
Did we really?
Yeah, I just don't have my hat on, if you remember.
Oh,
Met you-
okay.
Met you
Yeah.
in Salt Lake City. Yeah.
In Salt Lake. That's right. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. So what we wanted to do is to morph over to a topic that everybody has trouble with, because what is it that we're taught when we're kids? What do our parents teach us? Go ahead, Thecla, you said it.
Don't talk to strangers.
That's right. Don't talk to strangers. And Gwen, did your mom and dad teach you that same thing?
Where's Gwen?
I've got her in David Monteith's room. She's on her phone there. So I know, Mila, your mom did not, because she told me she never taught you how to do that. She taught you how to deal with strangers.
Exactly. She never
Yeah.
taught me.
Yeah, she knew early on that it's important to be able to meet people and to be able to talk to them and do so in a confident way. And doing that, you have to have an affinity for each person, because everybody has their own story. They have their own background. And one of the very first things you do is you try to listen to each person, and you do that introduction. So, Ricky, you told us you're from El Salvador. What made you come to Los Angeles?
Oh, well, it's been a while already. But my family, my parents decided to moved here. My dad, we were living in Guatemala City for most of our lives. And then my dad decided to move here. He was working with an American company, so transition was pretty easy for them. So yeah, just get a better life
So you,
like everybody else.
so you grew up in Los Angeles. You come to school in what, your high school age or
I
junior high?
came I came in my teen years. Yeah, I started here in the middle of high school, actually junior year and senior year.
Mm.
So I think I've lived here more now that in my home country. So yeah, I kind of know both cultures very well, which helps, I guess. And like you said,
Mhm.
talking to
So
strangers or looking.
yeah. So where you're Los Angeles, or are you south towards San Diego?
I am in Orange County, actually.
All right, the
Yeah,
bastion of republicanism.
yeah.
The very only one, yeah.
I'm
And it's
by
usually your school.
I'm by Disneyland, I guess, if you guys can relate to that
Yeah,
area.
yeah. I want now the next thing is that you've said you're from Orange County, and I lived in Orange County at one time. I lived in Huntington Beach,
Okay.
and Thecla lived in Orange County,
Alright.
and so we're connected by a history that allows us now to have a conversation, a friendly conversation about where we were and what we did, and, that sort of thing. So we can get to know each other, and we already have a feeling of connection, right? So conversation is about connection, connecting with other people, finding out what they're about without judging them, being able to accept people and be able to have this connection, find an area of connection. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were explaining some medical issues to me, and I go, that's very familiar. Oh, that's sleep apnea. I know exactly what that is. And we had this connection that she had sleep apnea and I had sleep apnea at one time. So, and then we got to talking about what the difference was. And then guess what? She wanted to know what I did. And once I was telling her what I did, she wanted to do the same thing. Guess what? She became a customer. So the neat thing about conversations and talking to strangers, okay, Malcolm did well. This is really neat because it goes into a lot of psychiatry and research and it tells it in a storyline, really nice storyline. So one of the other things is that we all have stories, right? And what we want to do is find out from the other person what their story is, right? So one of the things we might want to ask Ricky, we found out that we both lived in Orange County. Where'd you go to high school?
I did but half a semester in Pasadena and my senior year in Cerritos.
Okay, so you were up in the northern part of the county there. I went to JPL and worked there for a while, but I was down in Huntington Beach, so I went to Edison High School, and maybe we can relate from that because Edison was the second largest high school west of the Mississippi, as far as population was concerned. I had to go to school at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then my classes would end before 12. And then my wrestling practice would start at 3, and then I'd have to go to a restaurant to work in the evening until 9. So, yeah, it was kind of fun in that regard. But yeah, that's cool. But we also went to Salt Lake City.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's where I met you. Yeah, I met you guys there.
Did you have a good time?
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a great time. That was 2019.
Man, from working from home, it's feel like it's been forever. I don't remember anymore. Going out and yeah, that's about right, about 2 years.
It's right about 2 years. So you find that the people in this room, except for you, okay, have known each other fairly regularly, and we get a chance to talk for at least an hour or 2 hours every week, 2 hours on this program anyway. And so we wanted to focus on you because we haven't got a chance to meet you, and we wanted to get to meet you and say hi and learn a little bit about you. And then, one of the next things to do is that we'd like to invite you back. You're such a fun guy. We'd like to get together again. And how can we facilitate that? What would you like to hear about in next week's presentation?
That's a good question. I know I've heard, little things here and there, from Mila. So I feel like I know a little bit, I guess, the introductory phases of each, what you guys do. So I'm not sure exactly, but just for now, I'm just listening and just learning here things here and there. Yes, yeah.
So in this working from home, are you feeling a little isolated?
A little bit, mostly yeah, because you're sitting down pretty much the whole day, and yeah, you try to go out and go for a walk, go for a run. Yeah, but it's a little bit different. And
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen my friends for a while. My parents, I do visit them, and my brother and sister every now and then. Well, we can, not often, of course, right? But yeah, it's been a little bit different for sure, this past year.
Yeah. Yeah, we found that when we were in Jordan, it was quite interesting. The amount of time that was the businesses and things were shut down, and then they opened up, and then they shut down, and then they opened up, and then they shut down. Decla's been pretty much contained in her home because she's in the state of Washington, and Mila is out and about because she's in the state of Florida, which is quite open in terms of the COVID experience. Here in Alaska, we're pretty much open as well. Not a lot of restrictions, although when you come and go to the state, they do put you on quarantine until you get your test results. But for the most part, we're able to travel, and restaurants and public activities are open. Although they did not do the Iditarod, or they're not doing the Iditarod traditional start. That is, they're going to run the race, which is, the dogs and the sleds and so forth. They're so far apart. There's no problem with that, and there's usually nobody gathering until they get to villages, and villages are their own small communities of about 10 to 20 people. And so the race is actually going to take place, but usually there's a traditional start here in Anchorage where large groups of people would gather and watch the kickoff of the mushers, and that's been stopped. So go from there. Mila, I see that it's time to quit. Is that right?
No, it was so sad. Could not see I did the ride this year.
Yeah. Well, you'd be able to follow it just like the students do, and do the calculations if you wanted to. I mean, you can watch it online and follow it online. But the last great race, Ricky, the last great race. There's no other race as arduous as the Iditarod.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very difficult activity. So about let's just go around the room here and let everybody talk about some of their experiences in terms of breaking the ice and getting and talking to someone they've never talked to before. And I'm gonna hit up on you, Mila. How do you go about saying hi?
Well, that's a really good question, because many people would know me. Used to be a really shy person. I don't ever look people eyes. I don't talk to people. And it make a difference is that I realize like that if when you don't communicate with people, then you're self-isolated. Then after a while, you find out that you're just a solo butterflies, which you don't have any connections. And the only way is to break out that boundary by just push yourself to talk to people. And what you're going to push yourself talk to people is, I guess, like everywhere you go. For example, if you go into the restaurant and then you saw a lady also going to the restaurant, and then she wear a beautiful red dress, and you will tell her that her dress is so beautiful. Where did she buy it? I would like to buy one as well. And then that will be a way to open the conversation, and then she can tell you where she bought it, and then maybe you could connect to another conversation. So just to the end of the day is that you just don't afraid to actually like praise people, like to see how great the other people are. And once you put other people value first versus yourself, and that will make your conversation much easier to approach to stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mila. That's so true too, is that you just say hi. And then you being able to give a compliment really goes a long way towards breaking the ice and getting the other person to open up and join the conversation. Thecla, how do you do it? How do you break the ice?
Well, since we moved around a lot as children, you learn. If you want to have friends, you have to go out and find somebody. So basically, that's what I did most of my life, was go out and find people to be friends with. And sometimes, it worked out good, and sometimes it didn't. And sometimes, leads to heartache. But even today, if somebody new comes into church, I'm first there to introduce myself, ask them if there's, any questions they have, if I can help them find anything. They're new in town. Do they need directions? Do they need to know, where any stores are, or any particular products that they like, where they might be able to find them? So I really don't have any trouble meeting new people. It's the fact that there aren't any new people to meet. Because everybody's just so staying to themselves now.
Yeah. So that sounds like we need to join in with David in his believer program and rank advancement to follow up on making introductions online. So that we can build those conversations and learning those techniques. And I would highly recommend that everybody sign up and participate in David's program. I know that I am going to chase that one and go get on that path. So Michelle, how do you meet people?
Me?
Yes, you. How do you meet people?
I don't know. I get to meet you every day.
Yeah, well, like you at a shop and you met a lot of people at your shop.
Yeah.
So most of the global health team are clients of yours, are they not?
Yeah, my shop, my customer, anybody coming here massage, I must be called here, but I never scary.
Yeah.
But I know you sound like just help anybody, but he told here, he listen, but he knocking, he don't listen me, that's he knocking, just do it.
Yep, that's it. Just do it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Alvin, how are you? I'm going to ask you to unmute, join the conversation. There we go. Hi, Elvin.
All right, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you feeling today?
Feeling okay?
All right. Well, welcome. We have Elvin. This is Ricky. Ricky, this is Elvin. Yeah. And Ricky lives down in Los Angeles, Elvin.
Oh, okay.
All right. So thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. And we'll try to catch you up on all the things we talked about. We're into meeting strangers, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Awesome.
Alvin.
Hey, Eva, how are you?
How are
There
you?
we go. Fantastic.
Oh, good.
And everybody says like, Jishung, you're over there in the back end. I know that this is hard for you. Michelle, would you ask your sister and interpret, and Mila, would you interpret for us how she meets her friends, how she meets her strangers?
All right, I will be the translator.
Okay.
我们现在在谈论关于怎么样去跟陌生人打招呼，然后你可不可以跟大家分享一下就是怎么去接触陌生人，然后我可以帮你翻译，然后你的那个声音没有打开，需要打开一下。She's not scared of us. Okay, let me ask you to unmute. 你先把你的话筒打开。There we go. 好，你告诉大家你是怎么去接触陌生人。
告诉大家怎么说啊？
就是怎么去就是怎么跟你不认识的人去打交道。
就他问我漂亮不漂亮是怎么回事的，我就说我用的优莎拉嘞，那个身体状况啊，我都是吃的保健品拿的，钙镁片。
现在谈论的问题是，就是我一个完全不陌生的人，然后你怎么去第一开始跟他说话，建立沟通。
那我开始怎么说话？陌生人之间打招呼，就跟他聊聊天呗。问他哎呀，这怎么说啊？就是本身有什么机会呢？就是说，我也不知道怎么说。
就是一开始你是跟他说你好吗？好，然后是怎么去建立联系？是比如说，这个人走在大街上，然后，你觉得你对他产生好感，然后你怎么去跟他建立联系建立沟通？
那肯定说，他漂亮或帅了，然后就慢慢接触嘛，就是慢慢走入他的圈子嘛。就，哎呀，我叫你，问你说做什么产业啊？肯定问一下那些他个人的问题嘛。
Okay, so Xiang said that like if a stranger walking on the streets and she saw. For instance, if it's a lady and she would say she looked really pretty and then start a conversation there.
Okay. Well, that works out really well. And can we get Gwen? I see your face. Can we get you to unmute and join the conversation for us? You need to unmute.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Walter, you want to answer the question how to meet stranger people?
Yeah, how do you meet the people you don't know? How do you go about breaking the ice?
Actually, I'm afraid to talk to stranger people when I was in China, but right now here, pretty good. Now China people are so friendly. When you walk on the trail, on the street, you can say hi to anybody you want. But meet people, not big problem. Meet stranger. For me, the problem, how can we get time to talk to conversation more, little bit more time to get to know new people, like get his or her phone number, get his own detailed things, then for connect later time. I think this is the difficult part. Meet people is not problem for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes we meet people just, hey, hi, how, just a couple minutes, so you cannot get anything. Even you say something good, but it's hard to get a phone number or whatever, continue talking or get a connection information. That's very, very difficult things. If you cannot, you just talk to stranger people, you cannot say what your product or your health. Maybe sometimes you can, it take a little bit time. You cannot open your mouth to say that immediately. You cannot, that won't happen. Even happen, then not good result.
I think you're absolutely right, Gwen, is that, you know, the first thing in your mouth is not your products, okay? The first thing out of your mouth is hi, and your goal is to make a connection. That's it. Your first time, you know, you just want to make a connection. Find something in common and learn how to develop that commonality to help people feel more well, to get connected, but more able to exchange on that common basis. So first thing is friends first, right? Always friends first.
It's hard, you know. When you meet people, you have to meet again. Then you can make about friendship. Only one time, then few minutes, then it's gone. So nothing happened there.
It's so rare that you would meet somebody who's already positioned to say yes. Okay, but Gwen just did it. Gwen just did it. Congratulations to Gwen on her newest associate, by the way.
Wow.
Anna introduced to me. But,
yeah.
It's okay, but a pretty smart lady. When I talk to her, she understands immediately. I find her a little bit of, not really pinpoint, but I find something on her. Then I talk to her. She said, yeah, I need. I cannot wait. I want to have immediately.
Yeah. And Michelle, she had someone in New York make a connection here this week. She actually sought her out.
Yeah, that's my long time friends. I try you some everything angry me. Don't send me again. Don't send me again. I just still do again. One day I told her, you still do use Sana? Yeah, I'm not still do use Sana. Okay. I get one friend. I want him. He body very sick. He immediately down. Can you help here? By Usana told her something. I told her, yeah, no problem. Now I just told her friend one time and told her about call her phone number, but I never see her. He just my friend, her friend. But then the second time, just what I sent her name something. He sent he just buy very fastly. She told this was her what, very good.
Okay, Elvin. How do you meet folks? How do you break the ice when you first meet somebody?
Oh, that's very hard for me because I don't get out that much. But
well, you do now. I mean, you get out and you get a chance to meet with your practitioners and your and folks that you do. So some of these people you've known for years, and some of them they're brand new, like kids.
It's something for me to get used to again.
All right. So one of the things that we've touched on is that initial meeting is about, you know, just making that connection. Friends first, find the connection, and then get to the next time you meet, right? One of the best things you can do is exchange contact information if you can get it. If not, you're going to be depending upon meeting again, just by opportunity. But if you can get contact information, that would be a great way to get to the next meeting and the next meeting and the next meeting. It usually takes about 7 contacts. 7 times you come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. That's kind of a rule of thumb, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people, it's longer. A lot of people, it's shorter. But the averages out is about 7 contacts, and it's the same in just about every kind of industry. If before you get to know somebody, you need to have that friends to family, and then family, you're able to work issues, and you have stories to tell, like your health story, and how you've benefited from the products that you've been taking, and we'll run through that. I know that the conversation that we're having right now was requested last week, and the actual question that was asked is, how do you talk about your product without the other person on the other end, the person that you're talking to, going, oh no, not another MLM? All right. So the first thing is that you have to establish that friendship and trust component.
Yes.
And that is a very important component to moving forward. You cannot just walk in and say, I'm here to save you. Most people don't want the saving. What they want to do is talk. They want to share their burdens. They want to have an affinity. So that's what you need to do. I mean, you need to be able to provide that. However, let me tell you a story of mine here recently. I went down to a hardware store, and we have Lowe's and we have Home Depot, and this happened to be at Lowe's. And I was buying a large piece of lumber. It was 16 feet long. It was 12 inches high, and it was 4 inches wide. This was a big, heavy piece of lumber, and I needed help to get it into the truck. So the person there, offered up to help, and he'd helped me before, and we struck up a conversation. How are you? We introduced, and go through. Found out his name was Mudflap. Yeah,
I like
Mudflap. Yeah, he told me this story. He says, even the preacher at my wedding called me Mudflap. We just struck up a great conversation, and he was so helpful. And I says, here, I need to do something. How can I help you? Right? Because you've been so helpful to me. He says, he gave me his card. He says, here, give me a good review with my company. And I says, yeah, that, hopefully this will turn into money for you, since you can't take tips. Maybe the good review will do that. And then he said, yeah. He says, yeah, and I do guiding on river rafting. Well, it's going to get to be a really good year for river rafting, because with all this snow, there's going to be a great amount of runoff. He says, yeah, but the trouble is that you do river rafting, and then you got to go find something else to do. Then you do river rafting, and then you have to go find something else to do. And this year he happened to be working at Lowe's. And I says, well, you know what? I can help you with that if you'd like me to. I'm in this opportunity business, and I'd like to tell you about my products. And he says, yeah, let me here. So we ended up chatting, and we exchanged information. So a good contact turned into a conversation, turned into a connection, turned into a prospect, all in the same in the same discussion. But it was just conversation, just normal conversation. And I learned about him, and he learned about me a little bit, and then we learned a little bit more about him. And I said, hey, I can help with that. And and that's how you get into the conversation about your product and your business. You have two things: you have products, and you have business opportunity. Products and business opportunity. And if you know me, I'm more product guy, right? Not so much business opportunity. But they're both there, and you have two stories, and you have two ways of moving forward. You have people who need your products, and then you have people who more need the business opportunity to get something going, and we go forward from there. And clearly we get and learn techniques and strengths and so forth. This is, the products generally sell themselves because they work so great, right? The products work fantastic. It's #1 company for these products in the world. It's, nobody does this better. And I will tell you that I've been MLM before, and I was with a company whose product was not the #1 product. And I didn't last long because I couldn't, in good conscience, represent something that wasn't the best, or and certainly was not the best value. So we separated ways. But the fact of the matter is we have a #1 product, and we have a #1 opportunity. And I like to talk about products. That's my forte. Fortunately for us, we have David Monteith, who likes to talk about the business opportunities. So we have that coming up with his ranking advancement. And then I want to talk again about the various different products. And today was about stress, depression, and sleep. And we have products to do that. And then we have ways of additionally addressing those things. So I wanted to summarize that. And then the third thing that we were talking about was this conversation. How do we have this conversation and feel good about it? And one of the things is you just do it, right? You just do it. I mean, you don't get worried about it. Right? Don't let it cause stress in you. You're just having a conversation with somebody. And that's all you're having, is a conversation to have a connection. If you find a connection, that's great. If you don't, then you don't. I mean, it's no big deal. You go on from there. And then in all sales, it's a numbers game, right? When you get into worrying about selling, you want a lot of no's, because if you're going to get a lot of no's, you're going to get a yes once in a while, right? And how many yeses does it take, Mila? How many yeses?
Only one.
Just takes one.
Yep.
That's right. So
I do have something to add for talking to stranger. Maybe I have 2 tips. So the first tip is like, instead of ask, because why you need to find out why you need to talk to the stranger. So you have had to have a purpose, and then secondly, you need to find out what value you can provide to the stranger that you're going to talk to, and instead to figure out what you're going to get from the stranger. So these 2 different things. So if you want to think about what you want to get from a stranger, then definitely that wouldn't be a good way to approaching people. And then the second tip is that people don't remember what you do, people remember what you made them feel. So if you made them feel well, feel great, and people will naturally come to you. So yeah, without that, that's my thoughts for talking to a stranger.
Okay. All right. Now, Ricky, did you think of something else that you'd like us to talk about next week?
No, not really. I cannot think of anything really right now. You guys provided very good introductory topics, I guess, for this time.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We welcome you back. This channel's on every Friday at 5 p.m. And we'll go forward from there and provide as much value as we possibly can. And this week, we want to make sure that Michelle is celebrated with her birthday. Yay, Michelle, once again, right? Yay. Yeah. Yeah.
We should
Today,
sing birthday
yeah,
song.
yeah, we got a birthday song. I can do that. Let's lead it. Are you
Yeah.
ready? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you, anybody.
All right. So I want to say good night. Have a great week, a wonderful weekend, and a great week. And let's get together again Friday. Remember, there are other trainings. Michelle, when are the Chinese training for David? David Joe?
Ow.
Is that the Thursday or is that the Tuesday,
So
David?
that's Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. And he's on at what time?
I think Alaska time is 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock on Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday, yes.
Thursday, okay. And Gwen, when's your training? Yep.
I think
Okay.
don't think Green got it.
Okay. So there are other trainings every day. There's a work from home presentation that's being done, which is really fantastic. A lot of people get a chance to present that that opportunity to work from home, and every night there's one presentation someplace, usually on YouTube, and then lots and lots and lots of recorded training available to everyone. If there's a topic that you're interested in hearing about, there's somebody who has actually spoken on that. If you want to develop skills, we know how to put you in touch with the right people for developing various different skills, and even personal development going through. So for instance, for myself, I needed personal development, right? So I decided that I would go through a personal development program here at the beginning of this year. And I'm really glad that I did. And the reason why I needed personal development was because I became complacent. I was happy with myself. And I didn't have the fire that I needed to have to continue developing and to continue to reach out and change people's lives. So in order to do that, I went through personal development training, and we completed that here. Well, we will complete that at the end of this month. Okay, so we have a lot of things that we can do. We are a growing and a growing team. We're now at about 352 at last count within the global health team. Anybody appreciate that? About 352 of us inside of global health.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Wow.
It's amazing. So we're a big team. We're generating a lot of sales, and the products are helping a lot of people, and the work is beginning to help a lot of people too. So let's keep at it, and we'll see you next Friday.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.
Okay. Good night. Yishang. All right.
Good night.
When,
Hey, good night.